Hi there, welcome today to the next installment of our post-secondary info series. My name is Richard Vallejo. I am the student service representative for Virtual High School. Today I'm joined here with John Bosco Kakai from the University of Guelph.
Yes.
He is a liaison officer for the University of Guelph.
That's right.
And he's going to be sharing with us a bit more about the University of Guelph experience. He's actually an alumni. I'll let him talk to you about that as well. John Bosco, I thought that we could begin with you sharing that information, and then we're going to have some common questions that students usually ask us. So if you don't mind, we'll ask those questions of you. But for now, why don't you tell us a bit more about the Guelph experience?
Right on. So welcome everybody, wherever you are. My name is John Bosco Kaikai. I'm a liaison officer at the University of Guelph. So just a little bit about me before we speak about University of Guelph, because you're probably wondering what my background is.
Sure.
I'm originally from Freetown, Sierra Leone. I moved to Canada when I was 14 years old, straight to the city of Guelph. And I loved it so much in my high school years, and that's one of the main reasons why I chose the University of Guelph.
Great.
I graduated a few years ago now in criminal justice and public policy. And then I took a minor in history as well. And then after that, I went to do my master's at another university. And then in 2013, I started working as a contract liaison officer, and I haven't looked back since.
Wonderful.
So now I'm a liaison officer secondary school recruitment, and I travel all across Ontario, all across Canada, and sometimes even across the world to talk to students just like you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, you said you studied the criminal justice.
That's correct.
And public policy.
policy.
Wonderful. And is that one of your most popular programs? Is it still offered at the University of Guelph?
Yep. So the criminal justice and public policy is part of our Bachelor of Arts program, which is our second largest program at the University of Guelph. Criminal justice and public policy is one that students tend to take who want to, and when they want to go into law school, for instance, or they want to do government work, the volunteer sector, private sector, things of that nature. So criminal justice and public policy is huge for that. The really cool thing about that is 2-in-1. So there's criminology, where you're taking crime courses, combining that with public policy, public administration, political science courses. So you really get the two areas of discipline, and you get to kind of mend them together. And so if you choose to go into, let's say, the law route or the government or policy route, you have both those options.
Perfect. No, that's really neat. Now, tell us a bit more about the other programs that Guelph offers.
Yeah, in addition to our Bachelor of Arts, which is our second largest program, we have our largest program at the University of Guelph, which is one of the ones that we're really known for, and that's our Bachelor of Science. The Bachelor of Science is divided between the biological and physical sciences. The biological science is the study of living organisms and their interactions, and we have several majors. Everything from biological science, human kinetics, where you get to improve human health, and you also will be taking the human anatomy lab, where you get hands-on experience with real human cadavers. So we're one of the few universities without a medical school that allows its students to take part in full body dissections.
Neat, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And in addition to that, we have the physical sciences, which is the study of inanimate objects, chemistry, and physics. And we have several majors as well. One of them is nanoscience, which is the study of particles at the smallest scale. And at Guelph, we're using nanoscience to track and kill cancer cells. Wow. So this is just some of the few research that's happening at the University of Guelph, where we're continuing to improve life. And improve life, by the way, is our tagline, and we're continuously trying to find ways to improve life locally, nationally, and internationally.
Wonderful.
In addition to that, our Bachelor of Science is contained within our $144 million integrated research and teaching facility. That's the largest of its kind in North America. My brother, actually Matthew, who just graduated this past April, majored from Guelph as well. So I was able to recruit him to come to Guelph. He studied biochemistry, which is combining biology and chemistry with the focus on lab work.
Okay.
And he had quite a few work experiences where he was able to create new food at places like Dr. Oetker, which is a food company in London, Ontario.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So that's a Bachelor of Science. We also have a really cool and unique program called the Bachelor of Arts and Sciences. So I've talked about the arts, I've talked about the sciences. Combine the two now. A really cool thing and unique thing about it is that you get to combine one specialization in the arts and one in the sciences, and you'll integrate them using homegrown arts and science courses from Guelph. So some of our graduates have combined things like biochemistry and criminal justice and public policy to go on to do things like forensics. We've had other graduates combine theater studies with biology and go on to medical school.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Great.
we'll stay on the theme of science.
Yes,
We
sure.
have another amazing program called Bachelor of Applied Science.
Okay.
So you're using your love of science and combining that with psychology and sociology. So we have a really cool program called Bachelor of Applied Science, which has the Applied Human Nutrition major. So the Applied Human Nutrition is the one of 3 in Ontario, and we are fully accredited as well. So if students are looking to go on to become registered dietitians, we're one of 3 universities in Ontario that they can take that program from.
Wow.
Actually, one of my friends, Sadie, actually took the child studies major, and she did her third-year placement at the Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto, and she was able to shadow a child life specialist, getting her the skills to go on to become a child life specialist herself.
That's certainly applied, isn't it?
Certainly applied, for sure, certainly applied. And if you want hands-on experience like my friend Sadie, but in another program, we have a Bachelor of Science, Environmental Sciences. One thing students will come to know about University of Guelph is that we're very environmentally friendly. We are leading in environmental research and sustainability. And our Bachelor of Science, Environmental Sciences is at the forefront of that. We have some really amazing majors in there. One of them is the ecology major, where students are able to study little organisms and how, let's say, environmental disasters affect those little organisms.
Okay.
And then we have environmental economics and policy, where you're looking at it from more of a policy standpoint. And you're looking to shore up policy to make sure that our environment is fully protected. So a lot of people who want to become environmental lawyers end up taking environmental economics and policy.
Wonderful.
So we're definitely leading there. Another way we lead is now Gordon S. Lang School of Business and Economics.
Of course.
Yes, so business is a big area for sure. And we just recently got a $21 million donation.
Wow, 21 million.
21 million, not joking. $21 million donation. And we recently changed our business school, and it's now called the Gordon S. Lang School of Business Economics.
Wonderful.
So some amazing majors in there. The thing is, we're continuing to lead, and we lead so much that last year we were ranked top 10 in the Corporate Knights Better World business rankings that measures sustainable development and research publications. Wow. And one of our graduates actually is a business leader today as the CFO of Best Buy. And with 9 majors for students to choose from, you too can be a business leader of tomorrow. So the really unique thing about our business program is students get to specialize right from day one. So if they're taking, let's say, hospitality and tourism management, or our new sport and event management, or marketing management, they get to take those specific kinds of courses in their very first semester.
Like from the first year.
From the first
university.
year,
Wow.
yes. So I know some schools have it where they take general business courses and then they specialize in their 3rd and 4th year.
Right, yep.
But with us, you're specializing from first year onwards.
Oh, that's practical.
So that way, yeah, exactly. It's practical. You're getting your skills for throughout the 4 years of university.
Sure, neat.
And all of our majors in the Bachelor of Commerce as well, at Gordon S. Lang School of Business Economics, have co-op, which is a great way for students to get experience and convert their classroom theories into practice.
Right, to apply it.
For sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Neat. Sorry, I
Yeah,
think I interrupted
no
you.
worries,
Keep going.
No worries. In addition, and our business program has a brand new business hub as well, which is we call our McDonald Hall. It has a shareable media center, group project spaces, and entrepreneurship center.
Wow, and all that's new, or that's
That's new. Wow. All that's new, and it's continuing to be developed, but with a $21 million donation.
Yeah, that goes a long way.
Goes a very long way.
Good.
Another program that has an amazing facility is our Bachelor of Engineering. Mm-hmm. So we just recently completed a $50 million renovation to our engineering building that gives students access to brand new machine shops and epic computer labs, all in a state-of-the-art facility. So our engineering students are able to take 6 design projects from very first semester, and they're using scientific principles to solve everyday problems.
Wow.
So in our Bachelor of Engineering, we have majors like mechanical engineering, computer engineering, environmental engineering, and a really unique one called water resources engineering that a lot of people haven't heard about.
I haven't, no.
Yeah, so with water resources engineering, very similar to environmental engineering, but they're using engineering concepts to protect lands and waterways.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and students can apply the engineering concepts in a number of other ways as well. And one such way is a Bachelor of Computing. So obviously we know we live in a very technological world right now.
Of course, yes.
And a Bachelor of Computing has computer science and software engineering, where students are able to be at the forefront of computer technology. our graduates have gone on to work at Amazon, Google, and Microsoft on their co-op work terms.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, my wife's brother, Seth, actually graduated from the Bachelor of Computing, and he took computer science, and he's actually working in Toronto right now with Manulife.
Wow.
Doing big data. I don't know what that means.
Sounds important.
Sounds important.
Did you recruit him too?
I tried. I think
He did it on his own,
He did it on his own, most likely.
That's neat.
And that's one way we're continuing to improve life there. And students in that program have 24-hour access to their labs.
Perfect.
That also extends into a Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, one program where it's unique to the University of Guelph. We're the only university that has this English-speaking program of its kind. If students are interested, they have to fill out a background information form that is due by March 1st of next year. So if they're coming in for 2020 fall, they'll have to fill out the background information form that's due March 1st. Oh. What that program's all about is think about Canada's Wonderland and the green spaces around those roller coasters. So students are planning, managing, and designing public spaces that are functional and sustainable. So a lot of people think gardening or landscaping, but this is more than that. And students have gone on to work on theme parks in China. They have also designed the Chicago waterfront and also Central Park in New York as well.
Wow. And that's called the landscaping?
Yep. Bachelor of Landscape Architecture.
Wonderful. Wow.
Bachelor of Landscape Architecture. It's really unique and a hidden gem, I like to say.
Sure.
And another program that is quite a gem, and I'm sure a lot of people have heard about it for the University of Guelph, is a Doctor of Veterinary Medicine.
Of course.
Yeah, so if you want to be a vet, you love animals, we are the University of Ontario that you can attend. So students after high school can go into potentially a science undergraduate degree, and they can apply after their second year into the vet school. So they can go on to be a vet and work with different kinds of animals. And they're getting the education and the training for all kinds of animals. And if they want to specialize after that, they can go on to do that.
Perfect.
Yeah. And lastly, I just want to mention our Bachelor of Science in Agriculture,
sure,
which is one that we're known for, and we are the only university in Ontario that offers it. So Bachelor of Science in Agriculture is going beyond farming. So you're studying issues like sustainable foods or biological products. So we have many majors there, like animal science, where students are able to look at food production animals.
Okay.
And we have crop horticulture and turf grass sciences, where they're looking at crops and how they can be used as food or fuel.
And you said that's the only one in Ontario?
Yeah, we're the only university in Ontario that offers a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. Wonderful. There are a few other universities out west, but we're the only one in Ontario.
Perfect. Wow.
So those are a few of our cool, amazing programs that we have at the University of Guelph. If you have any more questions or want me to
Certainly
clarify.
I do. No, yeah, thank you for sharing that information to us. A lot of the questions that I was actually going to ask you, you answered there. One in particular is some of your hidden gems, like you call them, and prestigious programs. For example, you talked about the landscape and architecture. That sounds really neat. You said that there's only 3 universities in Ontario or in Canada that offer those?
For the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, we're the only university in Ontario that has an English-speaking program of its kind.
Oh, that's right. So even more prestigious, like
even
it's just in Canada of itself.
Yeah.
And then you were talking about the last one, all those prestigious programs. If a student out here is watching, maybe a student at Virtual High School, and is interested in those, what do they need to look into as far as the requirements grade-wise?
Yes. So that's a very good question. In our view book here, we actually have all the admission requirements on page 70 and 71. So with the Bachelor of Arts, we're looking at students starting at a 76 to 80. For the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, is a combination of good grades mixed with the background information form.
So like a job application kind of thing. Why do you want to do this?
Exactly. So that's for that one. For a Bachelor of Science, students are looking at starting 78 to 83. There are some majors they're a little bit higher, like animal biology, human kinetics, and biomedical science. But we start about 78 to 83. And before I go any further, I just want to say that these estimated cutoff ranges are really based on averages of the last 3 years.
That makes sense.
So even though I'm saying it today, it's not guaranteed that students will receive an offer of admission if they fall within the estimated cutoff ranges.
Right. And just to know for sure, they can always just contact the admissions office, correct?
That's correct. That's correct. And another one that I should mention is engineering.
Okay.
So for Bachelor of Engineering, students need an 84 to 89 estimated cutoff range. And for arts, science, engineering, business, we are looking for 6 grade 12 U or M courses, plus required subjects as well.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so for instance, engineering, students are required to have 2 of the 3 sciences, grade 12 physics, chemistry, bio, and then in addition need advanced functions and calculus.
Okay.
But in the arts, they only need English and 5 additional UOM courses.
Gotcha, not necessarily calculus or anything like that.
Exactly. And then it's a bit different for the sciences, computing, Bachelor of Computing, the business. There are a few differences there. But overall, we're looking for 6 grade 12 UOM courses.
Perfect. All right, and you said that this was the information you can find in this book here?
Yes, that's right.
Is this book available online?
This book is available online. All of admission requirements are also available online as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, John Bosco. I appreciate that. Now, you're talking about such great programs, anywhere from arts to even prestigious agriculture science courses, stuff like that. One question that always comes to mind, and is very popular by our students, is financial aid.
Yes.
What does University of Guelph offer as far as financial aid for students?
Good question. So I'm just going to reference this view book right here. So right on up on page 80, starting on page 82, you will see that we do a number of things to help out students financially. So the first thing we want to draw attention to is that we offer over 4,000 on-campus jobs and the support of financial aid counselors and government student loans as well. But in terms of what we do specifically, we have our top scholarships here. So we have our President's, Chancellor's, and Lincoln Alexander scholarships. So those are worth $42,000 payable over 4 years.
Wonderful.
And provide students as well the opportunity to take part in a research assistantship that is worth $9,000.
Wow.
These awards require a student application with a deadline of January 25th, and students can check out the website listed here for more information if they are interested.
Perfect.
If they did not receive these awards, they're automatically considered for one of 30 new academic leadership awards worth $20,000.
Okay.
We have our Board of Governors scholarships, so those are worth $20,000 payable over 4 years. We have the University of Guelph entrance scholarship as well, so that's based on an average of 85% or higher.
Wow, okay.
And then the final 2 awards here are very important. So we have the accessibility and registrar's entrance bursaries that are based on demonstrated financial need. And students can fill out an online application that is due by April 15 of next year.
April 15th.
April 15.
Okay.
But the most important thing I'll bring attention to is our scholarship search tool right here.
Okay.
So students can log on and find hundreds of available scholarships that they can apply to.
Perfect. Yeah. And you said that was available online
That's
as well,
available
so
online
you
as
can
well.
find that book there. That was page 82 and
Page
83.
82 and 83,
Yeah,
yes.
perfect. You can reference it there. Now, we're finding a lot of trends, and I think it's important, and we try and get our students to understand that grades do matter.
Grades do matter,
You were talking
yes.
about if you're ever in doubt, am I going to make the requirement for the program, just do great. Now, I don't know if you know this, John Bosco, but we at Virtual High School offered 24/7 online tutoring.
That's wonderful.
So for those students that are students with Virtual High School, make sure you utilize that, and you have some doors open as far as scholarships as well. Now, another question is campus residence.
Yes.
Is it maybe guaranteed for first-year students? How does it work for students wanting to attend Guelph? Maybe not like you that have to move. You know, you lived in Guelph, but if you have to go somewhere else, how does that work?
Well, not to worry. We have a guarantee that if
Perfect.
students just pay the $750 deposit and apply by the June 1st deadline of next year, they will get a spot in our residences.
Nice.
So at University of Guelph, we're a predominantly residential campus. We have close to 5,000 students that do live on our campus. So
5,000 that
about
live on campus.
Live on campus,
Nice.
yes. So we have, when students can come and check out our campus, which I just want to mention, we have open house days coming up soon. We have our fall preview day.
Perfect. What day is that?
Fall preview day is Sunday, November 3rd.
November 3rd.
And Science Engineering Sunday, November 10th.
Perfect.
Yeah, so these are great opportunities for students to be able to check out our residences, talk to students and faculty within the areas of study that they're interested in, and more importantly, be able to, once again, check out the residences.
For sure.
And we have North, South, and East residents that offer single, double, triple, quads, and suite style rooms.
Nice.
So it's not guaranteed that you'll get the spot you want, but it's guaranteed that you will get a spot.
Somewhere to live.
Somewhere to live.
Perfect.
And the way it works, it's just a lottery system. So we put this 5,000 students in the lottery.
Yep.
We start from number 1 to number 5,000. We start at number 1. If your choices are available, we'll give you that. If not, we'll go to number 2, and so on and so forth. So students do rank their top few choices in the application. So if they want, let's say, a South single, they can rank that as number 1. If they want a Johnson double, they can rank that number 2, so on and so forth.
Makes sense.
So that's how the residence system works.
Sweet.
So I personally didn't live in residence. I chose not to because I grew up in the city of Guelph.
Sure, that makes sense.
But my brother Matthew did. And he absolutely loved his time in residence. He loved it so much that he went back after first year to be a resident assistant and was also leader of the biological science academic cluster. So you're wondering what an academic cluster is. So essentially, if you're, let's say, in the sciences or business, you can live in a residence with students in the same program as you.
Nice.
So you all get to have similar classes, have similar schedule.
Study together.
Exactly.
All that good stuff. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I keep going. I keep
no
interrupting you, John
worries,
Bosco.
no worries. And that's essentially it. If students do choose to live off campus, we have the Off-Campus Student Association that will be reaching out to those off-campus students. And they reached out to me in my very first couple of days of orientation. So they invited me, even though I was an off-campus student, they invited me to still come out and be a part of orientation activities.
Perfect.
So whether you live on residence or you live off campus, we make sure that everyone is fully integrated and fully involved.
That's great. So that kind of leads me to my next question there. Obviously, studying is good and all that stuff, but part of the university experience is also the extracurrilar activities that the University of Guelph offers. Can you tell us a bit more about those on campus?
Of course.
Activities?
So as part of the activity that we do offer, in addition to residents, students are able to be part of 19 different intramural sports.
Wow.
25 indoor facilities and 16 state-of-the-art outdoor facilities. So I myself love soccer. I played intramural soccer all 4 years of university.
Wow.
So it was a great opportunity for me to be able to de-stress, get outside of the classroom, make some friends who I am still friends with today.
Wonderful.
So outside of the classroom, we have lots and lots of opportunities for students. We have Varsity Sports as well. And if students are interested in varsity, I will recommend they contact the coach at griffins.ca, where they can find all that information because recruitment does get started quite early.
Contact the coach
At griffins.ca.
at griffins.ca. That makes sense.
Yeah. And lastly, I'll add that, if you have a bit more different eclectic taste in sports, we have over 30 different sports clubs and classes from ninjutsu, underwater hockey, yoga, Zumba, the list goes on and on.
That sounds pretty neat. We did cover a lot of things already here. I mean, we talked everything from bursaries and scholarships as far as even campus life and all that stuff and the university admissions. One last question that I know a lot of students do ask, I may think of something else before then, so don't quote me on it being the last question, but any co-op options for the students? You did touch base a little bit about that, which kind of makes it the more applicable side of what you're learning.
Yeah.
But maybe you can share a bit more information about that, the co-op options.
Yeah, for sure. So all of our programs have the opportunity for you to take your in-class learning to experiences on and off campus.
All the programs.
All of our programs. But not all programs do offer co-op. So I'm just going to quickly reference this viewbook here on page 70 and 71. So on page 70 and 71, this has all of our programs, and a star by the major, which is contained within the programs. A star by the major means it has a co-op option. So not all majors within all of the programs do offer co-op, but for those that do offer co-op, you have between 3 and 5 co-op work terms, and they usually start either the winter of second year or the summer after second year.
Got it.
And they can choose to work locally in the city of Guelph, Toronto, anywhere they feel like they want to have that experience, or they can also even travel internationally as well.
Wow.
My brother Matthew, who majored in biochemistry, had 3 co-op work terms at 3 different locations.
Wow.
The one of them I mentioned earlier at Dr. Oetker, the food company in London, Ontario.
Wow. Close by.
Yeah, very close by. And another one he worked at was actually last year. He worked on campus with a professor, studying zoonotic diseases, which are diseases that transfer from animals to humans.
Oh, wow.
So he was able to get a lot of experience that way. Actually, my colleague Ryan, who graduated from Management Economics and Finance major in our Bachelor of Commerce, actually had a couple of really interesting co-op. One of them was working at Pepsi, and he did a lot of financial management there. He also worked Bay Street, downtown Toronto.
Nice.
Yeah, so he had some really great experiences, and part of his experiential learning as well had him on campus managing a $100,000 investment fund.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of hands-on
A
experience.
lot of
You
hands-on
can apply everything.
experience. Like another colleague of mine, Neha, actually did Project Serve, which is an opportunity for students to be able to get hands-on experience and community experience from the very first year of university.
Perfect.
So
All valuable information for when you graduate and are looking for a
Yes,
job. Employers look for that. Wonderful. John Bosco it's a family business. Your brother Matthew, your brother-in-law Seth. This is good. University of Guelph is an option for you if you're looking to apply post-secondary options. And like you mentioned, November 3rd and November 10th.
That's correct.
Are the open houses, and you can find more information in that booklet available online. Is it uoguelph.ca? You can look it up there. Thank you so much for talking to us about the University of Guelph experience. This has been enlightening. I'm very intrigued by all the programs you offer there. If you have any questions, just make sure you reach out to us. We can get you in touch with the right representative, maybe even John Bosco himself, and can answer those questions for you. Make sure you follow us on Facebook if you're not already, and you can see when our next info series will be. Thank you very much for your time.